In this part of this course, I'm going to be discussing how to draw trend lines. Trend lines are very important when it comes to forex trading. Your ability to draw them correctly will give you an edge in the forex market. One of the most important lessons you will ever learn in forex is to follow the trend, because the trend is your friend. If you attempt to trade against the trend, you always get your fingers burnt, and you always trade at the wrong side of the market. But when you trade in line with the trend, you're always going to be happy because you always make good profit from the forex market. Now imagine if you are swimming and you try to swim against the tide. What will happen? You end up having a very bad experience. But if you swim in line with the tide, you end up having a good experience. Trend lines are very important tools in forex technical analysis and it is ideal for both trend identification and confirmation. A trend line is a straight line that connects two or more price points and then extends into the future to act as a line of support or resistance. Now, learning how to draw trend line is pretty straightforward. A trend line is a line drawn connecting at least 2 points in your chart where price have previously found support or resistance. The more touches a trend line has, the better, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you during the course of this video. Now, when drawing a trend line, it is ideal that you choose 2 significant points and you draw it accordingly. Now, there are 2 types of trend lines. We have the bullish trend line. The bullish trend line is drawn by connecting 2 swing points. This is a swing point here. This is a swing point here. By connecting 2 swing points together, this is what we call a bullish trend line. Now, this is a low. This is a higher low. This is a higher low. So when you connect these 2 swing points together, it gives you what? A trend line, a bullish trend line, or a uptrend line. Now, when price comes and touches this trend line, it confirms that this trend line is strong. Now, another type of trend line is the downward trend line, or we call the bearish trend line. That trend line is formed by connecting a swing high, by connecting 2 swing highs. By connecting 2 swing high, this is a swing high here, this is a swing high. So now this is a swing high, this is a lower high. When you connect them together, it forms what we call a bearish trend line. Now, so placing the trend line is very easy. All you need to do is just to follow 2 steps. Identify 2 swing points, and I'm going to show you in a real chart, and to draw a line joining them. So whenever you identify 2 swing points like this in the 2 downswing points, this is called an uptrend line. That is 2 lines. When you identify 2 swing points, 2 significant points, it could be 2 low. This is a higher low. When you identify these 2 and you connect them together, you form what we call a bullish trend line. So we'll be looking for price action around this trend line. Same thing goes to downward trend line. Now let us go to our real chart and let me demonstrate to you how to draw trend lines. This will help you understand the concept that I'm trying to explain in this video. Now this is the 4-hour chart, Euro USD 4-hour time frame chart. Now I want to show you how to identify a trend line, how to draw a trend line on a real-time chart. Now, for the purpose of this course, we are going to be making use of significant swing points to draw our trend lines. Well, the significant point in the sense that it has many candles. We classify a point as a significant point or a significant area if it has many candles on the left and also on the right. So these areas, this significant point in the case of a bearish trend, we call them, we'll be looking for significant area of resistance. If you are trying to draw a bearish trend line, we'll look for 2 significant areas of resistance. That is areas of resistance. That means we're looking for a high and a lower high. So those are the swing points that we are going to be taking note of for the purpose of this course. Now, if you look at this chart very well, to spot your trend line, to spot the significant point is very easy based on what I explained previously. Now, this is a swing point here. Why this is a swing point? Why are they called swing points? We have so many candles on the left and we have so many candles on the right. So this qualifies it as a swing point. this is not a valid swing point because we have few candles on the left and few candles on the left, so it is not a valid swing point. I'm talking about this area here. This is not a valid swing point, but this is not a valid swing point here. It's not valid. This is not valid. This is not valid. So we are not going to be making use of this kind of swing points to draw a trend line. We are going to be making use of significant swing points. Significant in the sense that these are areas that have many candles on the left, on the right, where price has found it very difficult to breach. Now, in this chart here, you can see this is a significant point here. This is a significant point. This is a significant point. Why this is also a significant point. We don't classify this as a significant point because the candles on the left are not much. But if you take note of it, you can see there are lots of candles with momentum on the left and also on the right. So we are going to be classifying this as a trend line, this as a swing point, this as a swing point. Now, after identifying this swing point, the next thing for us to do is to connect them to draw a trend line. So when you connect this one to this one, this is what we call a bearish trend line. So we are connecting a swing high and another swing high. There is a swing high, a high and a lower high to form what we call a bearish trend line. So after drawing this trend line, we'll now extend it into the future to look for price reaction around this trend line. In the next video, in the subsequent video, I'm going to be showing you how to determine this. But let us put our focus on what we are trying to explain here, what I'm trying to explain here. So this is how to draw significant trend line. Now, in the case of a bullish trend line, we also look for a significant area of support and another significant area of support. So in this case now, we'll be looking for two swing lows. So in this case now, this is a swing low because it has so many candles on the left as well as on the right. So this we don't classify this as too significant because the candle on the left are not much. So we are not going to be taking it as a significant point. So now this is the daily time frame of the Euro USD pair. Now we'll be making use of, look at now, this is a swing low. It has so many candles on the left and so many candles on the right. So we can draw a swing low. This is a swing low, this is a swing low, this is a low, this is a higher low. So we'll connect them together to form what? An uptrend. So this is what we call an uptrend. So in this case, we will be looking for price action, price reaction around this trend line. In case price comes down, we'll be looking for price reaction around this trend line. So now, trend lines drawn on higher time frames have more power, more effectiveness than trend lines drawn on lower time frame. For example, in my case, I tend to focus my attention on the daily, the 4-hour and the weekly trend lines because price tends to always react around that area, and I'm going to be demonstrating that to you shortly. Now, this is also a bullish trend line. This is also a bullish trend line. Now this is a significant low, this is a significant low, this is a low, this is a higher low. So connect them together to form what we call a significant trend line. So we are going to be making use of significant trend line throughout the course of this video. Throughout the course of this video, because that is what I use to trade significant low. Now, this is also a significant point. This is a significant point here in the case of a bearish trend line. So you connect this one, connect this one, and you look out for price action around this trend line, in and around this trend line. I'm going to be demonstrating that in one part of this course. I hope you've been able to master how to draw trend line effectively. Like I told you earlier, we are only going to be placing our attention on significant points to draw a trend line. We are not going to be paying much attention on insignificant point. Like this is an insignificant area of support. This is an insignificant area of support. This is an insignificant area of support. I'm talking about this area here. This is an insignificant area here. this is insignificant, this is insignificant. So we are not going to be placing our attention on things like this. This is an insignificant area here, so we are not going to be placing our attention on areas like this. Areas like this, we are not going to be placing our attention on that. We are going to be placing our attention on major areas of support. For example, major areas of support or resistance, as the case may be, depending on the direction of the trend. Now, having drawn trend lines correctly, the next thing for us to do is to look out for price action setup around that area. Now, in our next video, I'm going to be discussing how to make use of how to spot the right kind of candlesticks, and in a subsequent video I'm going to be bringing everything together and show you exactly my powerful trading strategy, how I combine all these tools to give me a price action setup, how I combine all these tools to give me an edge, to give me the direction of the trade, and to also tell me whether I'm in the right side of the market or not. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it very well. In our next video, I'm going to be discussing more information on how to take advantage of these trend lines.